Okay.
The main purpose of the SWP also is to introduce agile, kind of incremental, fast, iterative delivery of software.
Got any more buzzwords in there?
Innovative,
Innovative,
critical thinking,
non-traditional,
efficient, common sense.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We've got another act for dummies for you. We've got a lot of these.
Yeah, you're going to have a treat.
I hope you're enjoying these.
You can binge watch them.
Absolutely. Especially these ones. We've been doing them kind of in order.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to talk about one more thing. And it is, I still can't figure out why it's called the SWP.
Swap.
Swap.
Some people call it swap.
Swap.
Because that makes more sense.
Uh-huh.
Software acquisition pathway.
Except software is one word.
Oh, you're right.
It should be the SAP.
But SAP is simplified acquisition procedures. That's probably why. There's already a acronym, domain names taken.
Just give it a .net.
Yeah, give it
SAP.net.
SAP.net. SAP.org.
Okay, so software acquisition pathway. That sounds pretty simple. It's the path that you follow when you want to get some software.
That's it. That is the pathway you follow when you want to acquire acquisition software.
Is it a straight and narrow path or a winding and curved path? Or
it's a straight, small, winding, curving path.
All right.
Hopefully we'll be more broad. But right now, straight and narrow is the path that leads to software. And broad and wide is the path that leads to the valley of death.
Okay.
So software acquisition pathway. I think before we talk about this, we should probably talk about the difference between the DoD calls it big A and little a acquisition.
Yes.
We just finished some videos, which are available, hopefully, about commercial solutions opening, which is a solicitation, and other transactions, which are contracts.
Okay.
That is not the same thing as the software acquisition pathway. So with contracting and procurement, the federal acquisition regulations, things like that, is what's called little a acquisition. Little a acquisition really just deals with the art of contracting, making the deal.
Making the deal. Okay.
With a company. Yep. However, acquisition is defined, big A acquisition is defined as the overall process of defining a requirement, going through the requirements definition and approval process, all the way to the procurement, which is a subset of acquisition, and the production, delivery, and sustainment, the whole life cycle of a program or a project.
Okay.
That's big A acquisition. So to actually acquire something, it turns into this kind of program where there's a program manager. The contracting officer is not the program manager, right? They're just part of they just make deals.
Yeah.
But making the deals is only part of it. So this is like the whole process. And so that is called big A acquisition. And there's something called the Adaptive Acquisition Framework, or AF. And that is a lot of different pathways, but the most historically commonly used one is like 5000.02. It's a very drawn out process. We used to have that. We had that chart of the defense acquisition system that we use a lot.
Ooh, we'll put that up.
Yeah. It's like a big spaghetti chart.
That's a joke in like 6 of our videos.
Yeah. It's a joke in the government.
Yeah, okay,
but tragically real.
They still use this like an old thing.
I think it's still real.
Okay.
It's the beast of DoD acquisition.
Okay.
You go through multiple milestones. There's something called the JSIDs where there's like a joint board to even get to like what is the problem we have and what's the solution. You have to do something called the AOA, the analysis of alternatives. Like we think we want drones, aerial drones, but we're going to do a whole report on other types of drones or other things to see. This is just a whole thing. Because we're talking about from major ACAP programs, like major programs, billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Years. This is where, we can talk about like building planes, building tanks. Those are programs of record. Usually those are earmarked in bills, appropriations bills. That's why they call programs of record. So Congress actually gives money to that particular program. That's big A acquisition. It's a very formal, official. Software is really never accounted in any of that.
You don't need that to get Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or to develop software even,
Oh, yeah.
So I guess pretty good at building planes. That takes 10 years. If we're spending millions and millions of dollars on a huge software requirement and it turns into a program of record, the DoD did not have a pathway. They would follow that old, arduous, like laborious pathway, like milestones A through C. And by the time you buy the software, you go through all this, you've completely lost the relevance of the technology itself. It's moved on to something else. So there's something like about acquiring this emerging technology. How in the world are you going to, with the defense acquisition system, acquire any AI at the speed of its relevance? Since AI is constantly changing.
Constantly, yeah.
Yeah. Enter
SWP.
That's it. It's a new pathway.
So is the main purpose of SWP to speed things up?
Yep.
Okay.
The main purpose of the SWP also is to introduce agile, kind of incremental, fast, iterative delivery of software.
Got any more buzzwords in there?
Innovative, critical thinking,
Non-traditional.
efficient, common sense.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So that's the spirit of software acquisition pathway with 5000.02, there's a whole bunch of steps on the requirement, and software acquisition pathway, it's 5000.87. And if you're watching this, you should listen to us because we're awesome. But you should also, after you listen to us, you should read 5000.87. It's short. It's a great read. You could read it to your kids at night. I think it's that entertaining.
Probably put them to sleep.
It's got pictures.
It does?
It's got pretty pictures. We use the pictures in our training. It's like, the little circles.
Oh, yeah, that's from them.
That's from them. Yeah, they made that.
Okay.
I like it.
That's pretty good. It's better than that spaghetti monster thing.
Oh, yeah, way better. So what's funny about the software acquisition pathway charts is it's still describing it linear. They're just using a bunch of circles like in a row. So it's kind of weird.
It's a line of circles.
It's like trying to describe a 3D thing in a 2D chart.
Yeah, totally.
But that's the idea, is that there's 2 steps. And to make their point even clearer, that really there's 1 step. The 2 steps are 0 and 1. And 0
digital.
is planning. Yeah. 0 is planning. Planning is supposed to be really short. Because, with the software acquisition pathway, you want to kick those little birds off the nest as soon as possible, have them start flying. Yeah. With 5000.02, those birds grow up into big birds, and they're still in the nest. Yeah. Like they're running out of room. They're like falling off and everything. So why haven't you started flying yet? SWP is as nature intended.
Yes.
You're kicking those little chicks out. Yeah.
I like it.
So that means that you're running the ball down the field and you're trying to get a touch point with the end user extremely early in the process. None of this like milestone A, B, and C. You're getting the first iteration out very soon.
Okay.
By the way, this is not contracting. Contracting is included in this, but this is a whole program, a lot of different factors involved. But the idea is that you're delivering something very quickly to the end user. If it works, you keep going. If it doesn't, you pivot or you
circle back.
Or you circle back, you pivot. Well, if it works, you keep working and you take that and you circle back and make it better. Okay. If it doesn't work, you either try something new, pivot, or you just pull the plug.
Okay.
So the software acquisition pathway is also supposed to prevent the fallacy of sunk costs in large software programs, which is real. We've been pumping in a lot of money. Actually, that's one result of the Doge, to be honest. I mean, they uncovered a lot of huge software legacy systems that weren't working. We just kept pumping money into it.
Keep giving it money. Maybe it'll work.
Keep giving it money. So the software acquisition pathway, this is how it fits really nicely in with things like other transactions.
Okay.
Because the way the contracting is even supposed to be designed in the software acquisition pathway is you want to create those exit points where you can just pull the plug easily. It's supposed to be very flexible. If you read software acquisition pathway, it's very intuitive.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's like, okay, I can see that. It's the application of it that's the challenge. So the spirit is good of the software acquisition pathway. Okay, it's one thing to say, go do this is great. It's quite another thing to actually carry this out. And that's where you're trying to do something like the software acquisition pathway in an environment that just doesn't work right now for software. It can work, but we're talking about an amount of teaming and coordination with the end user in very close, intimate kind of like sprints, and where the program manager or product manager is working closely with the contractor, the contracting officer is involved, and the life cycle of this thing, like after the award, to make sure they're doing the orders. I mean, that's just very tight coordination.
That's a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts, and it's a huge tail after the award. It requires a transformational change, so you guys can lead that change. It's really not done at scale right now, though. So it came out in 2020.
Oh, it's very new.
Yeah, it's like 5 years old.
Yeah.
There was a conference where someone mentioned that there's, I think, 84 programs right now using the.
Okay.
It's not bad, but what does that mean exactly? We just trained a company that has a large program of record with the government that is using the software acquisition pathway.
Oh, nice.
And we asked them, we were training them on this. We asked them, how's it going? Is it this? We explained 5000.87 to them. Like, is it this? And they're like, nope. But they said that it's a learning process for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's working. It's just, it's going to be messy to actually fulfill what's required in software. Because you're making that very early touch point and you're iterating. So let's talk about real quick what happens, how that applies to AI. Because AI makes this really interesting. Yes. AI is perfect for software acquisition pathway because not just software. It's not just software, but the AI transforms and changes based on its reactions to the environment, right? So if let's say, for example, the AI model has a deep learning algorithm that is feeding on raw data, maybe unstructured data. It's learning, it's teaching itself. It's part of the dev process. It's deving itself.
It's like a living product.
It's doing its own circles.
Yeah.
Right? So, you put the user feedback loop in its loop, but still, it's a very unique form. It's perfect for software acquisition pathway, but the trick is to figure out how the artificial intelligence program, whatever it is going to, what the life cycle of that's going to be. When AI becomes static, it dies. It becomes inaccurate. It becomes obsolete. So you want to keep it improving and growing, but when does it end? There's a saying in the software never ends, right? Yeah. AI never ends either. So it's perfect for the software acquisition pathway, but when you have the additional element of the data and who's going to take this, and so the initial touch point with the end user may be okay, but how does this keep going? What's the tail look like? Who's the transition partner? These are all things that must be considered if you're engaging in a AI contract or an AI program where you're using the software acquisition pathway.
So there's no finish line, huh? There's no let's celebrate, we got it done.
I mean, maybe, right? But if it keeps on getting better and better, the impact of AI is one in which it should be, if it keeps getting better and better, let's say the sunk costs, we're not doing the fallacy of sunk costs, that means it's providing incredible value. It's taking away manpower hours or cost savings at an incredible rate, or not taking away manpower or cost savings, but maybe adding something. It's increasing precision. The idea of AI, good AI, should be enhancing your mission. Just think about the Air Force. Air Force in 1947, what their capabilities were compared to what we have in the Air Force today. That is in large part due to technology.
Yeah.
So we want AI to do the same thing. How can AI increase the Air Force mission to, dominate the skies? I don't know what it is. But anyway.
I didn't work there.
Yeah,
you did.
I know. So that's it, right? And so if this thing keeps helping the Air Force with their mission, you never want it to end. Yeah. That's a great thing. But you use the software acquisition pathway in a very flexible way to keep it growing. And whenever it doesn't grow anymore, you pivot or you stop.
Does the acquisition pathway make it easy to pull the plug?
The contracts would do that.
Okay.
So if you look at step 0 and step 1, the planning part, maybe you can, to tie it all together.
Yes.
Is the software acquisition pathway is the overall process of getting something. Let's say it's a smart sensor you attach to a like an MQ-9, a UAV, and it's detecting targets. Okay. Right? That's the program. So the art of defining what that means, buying it, delivering it, the whole life cycle is the big A acquisition. Use the software acquisition pathway for that. It's perfect for software. There's hardware components to it, like the UAV. It's good for software acquisition pathway. Okay, the planning stage may be the CSO. That's where you do the opening. You're asking for commercial solutions, and then the execution of it can begin with the other transaction.
Okay,
you're creating and then after the other transaction, the prototype. Maybe you do some cycles with the prototype. That's one of those circles, and then if you find out that works, you do a production, and then the tail is you just keep it going.
Yeah. You just keep that going until something else comes along.
Yeah. Exactly. There's two types of applications to the software acquisition pathway too. I should mention this. One is I forgot what they call it, like a brand new application, like an isolated application. Well, one example is like an AI powered lawnmower.
Yeah.
So that's not attached to anything. It's just its own thing.
Okay.
However, a lot of AI really usually, other than that lawnmower, it's not AI isn't like AI is usually a means to an end. It augments something.
Yeah.
It's like a seasoning. So
Yeah. You have a jet that you spent 12 years building.
Exactly.
And you want to add a little AI,
sprinkle some AI on it.
thing on it. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to add some AI to the radar in a submarine too.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything like that. That is where you're augmenting an existing program of record, and software acquisition pathway talks about that too. That's the second path. You got to figure, even if that's going to be its own program that uses its own pathway, it could use the 5000.02. But the beauty of the adaptive acquisition framework, that's the where the adaptive comes in, is you can use multiple pathways and you can figure out a way to still merge that AI into that program, into that submarine, even though it's its own program. So you got to figure out where those merge lanes are.
Okay.
Yeah. That's SWAP in a nutshell.
Swoop.
Swoop.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
I feel like I understand it now. I hope you guys understand it now.
Yeah, hopefully that was helpful.
All right.
Go forth and do great things.
We have faith in
We're
you.
cheering you on. Swap it up.